morning we had the privilege of hearing from Mr. Mogari, and if you notice, he said, usually goal setting is what people do in January. However, he thought, no, we're going to have it in February. Maybe you raised a question in some of your minds. Maybe you didn't, but I think it should have. What is that requirement that you need to have? Why is it a requirement to have self-discipline before you start to set goals? Think about that for a moment. You get up in the morning and you think, today I'm going to go and lift some weights, for example. If you don't have the discipline, you're not going to do it. It's that simple. You need to have exercised that muscle of discipline before you can set goals and then attend to those goals in order to accomplish them. I think there's another element that's very fundamental to goal setting, and that's having the ability to be aware of who you are within your circumstances and also where you are. Mr. Mogari also mentioned the pillars of goal setting. In my mind, I'm sure he has a curriculum in his own mind for those pillars. In my mind, that awareness is number one. You got to know where you are in life. If you're constantly influenced by the society, by the people around you telling you that you have to be this, you have to become that, you have to own such and such car, you have to be in this house that's in a certain neighborhood and has a certain number of bedrooms, you're not aware of who you are. You don't know where on your journey you are. That's number one. The second thing awareness does for you is if you're not aware of who you are, you don't know where you're going. How can you know where your destination is if you don't know enough about yourself? If your destination is dictated by the people around you, like I said, by the society, in some cases by our parents, from way back when, telling us over and over and over again, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be a lawyer, you gotta be an engineer, whatever your parents did for you. You know what mine are. You have to break through those barriers first before you can set your own individual goals. In order to break those barriers, you have to have that awareness. So the next natural question is, well, how do I become aware? Right? That sounds great. How do I do it? If I went around the room today and asked you to define the word awareness, I am willing to bet I will get multiple different versions of what awareness is. And I'm willing to bet all of those definitions are also correct. Because you see, we all see things from our point of view, from our perspective. It's not wrong, it's just where we are today. Awareness, like anything else, like many other things I should say, has various levels of depth. And I would say from personal experience that you start becoming aware from this layer right here, which is our outer layer, which is our shell. A lot of times, you'll be sitting in a car, for example, driving. Your thoughts are racing. You're not aware of anything. You're on autopilot, you're going down the freeway, your eyes are open, your brain is functioning, and it's allowing you to control the car, but you're not really there, are you? You're in your kitchen preparing the meal for that night. Or maybe you're preparing yourself for the argument that hasn't happened yet, but you're anticipating it. Or you're still fighting the argument from last night maybe, and it's just not over yet. If any of that rings a bell with you, that's just the telltale sign that you need to increase your awareness. And you start with this body. Why do I say this? Because it's the easiest thing that we have with us. We have it with us all the time. So if you're sitting in the car, you realize that I'm not aware, start feeling that steering wheel under your fingers. Press it a little bit more maybe. Start feeling the gas pedal or the brake pedal under your foot. If you get good at that, maybe you go a little bit deeper. Start to feel the clothing touching your skin. We've heard a lot of these things in maybe meditation classes, yoga classes, but it doesn't have to be limited to that. I'm standing here right now, I'm feeling the soles of my feet as I'm speaking, I'm aware of my heart rate as I'm speaking. As you become a better speaker, you realize that you need to be aware of the tonality of your voice, your audience, their eyes, their everything, right? You gotta be in the moment. That's the key. It's used as a cliche all the time. You need to be present, you need to be in the moment, but nobody goes far enough to tell us what it means. So fellow Toastmasters, what I beg of you to do, as homework if you will, until next week when we meet again and we dive deeper into this topic of goal setting, is try and become a little bit more aware. Try and see where in your life you are today. Try and gauge your awareness. Are you okay with the level of awareness that you have today? How can you increase it a little bit, maybe? And then bring that back with us and share it in the next meeting, and then we can together take that next step into the second pillar of goal setting.